I'm Don, and I'm going to show you today how to use PVC to make a airbrush station. Now, this is a regular airbrush station. This one, not terribly expensive. It's pretty okay. I don't hate it. I like how it holds this, but I don't like how my Badger fits in this. Kind of slops around. Doesn't make me real happy. This one here, it holds the Iwata style, or this one happens to be a Master. It holds it pretty well. I like that just fine, but I don't like how it sits in the cradle, which is okay, but not perfect. But this piece here cost about $30. It wasn't terribly expensive, and it's nice. It's mobile. It's got a clamp on there, so it's pretty okay. But I wanted something that was a little more movable, not as tough to use. So I've got some pieces laid out here. Got some PVC. We'll start with what you need, or how many pieces that it took me to do this. I've got 4 regular tees. These are 1/2 inch slip tees. I got 2 elbows, because you got to have a couple elbows, of course. 4 caps. These are just aesthetics, basically. You don't really need caps if you don't want to. I prefer the caps. I like the round ones. And then some PVC tubing, of course. The PVC, I've got it all kind of cut to size. This one I bought in one of those little 4-foot segments, so it only cost about $3. This whole setup cost me a whopping $8, and just a little bit of elbow grease, and we'll get it done. So I've already taken the liberty to put some of these pieces together, so you can kind of see. These will just mount together. The tees, we got 2 different tees here. These right here will just slip in together. I want those to be very close. This is actually going to be my airbrush holders, so these are for that. Then I've got an elbow with a boot in it. Now I'm going to mount that in to the top of one of the tees like this, and I'm going to do the same with the other one. I want to kind of match them up so they look similar from opposing sides. You know, kind of match the smooth side versus the smooth side. So you see that they're set up kind of in this configuration. Then we'll take the caps, and I'll turn them to an up position. This one has a little knob on it. I'll trim that off later. Then we'll just set these in here like this. That'll make this piece that looks like this. Very simple there. And then we'll do the same with the opposing side. Now, my idea behind this was that I thought I could, build a better rabbit, or build a better mouse trap, and that's just pretty simple. You see how these are together? There's a joined one in the middle that's very short, so it doesn't, it's not exposed when you collapse them, so they're all pinched together. Now this, I will slip into this side. The other one, I will slip into the other side, and I'll compress those pretty good because I want it to be a nice snug fit. And it's a little wobbly, but that's pretty easy to do because it's not glued. I'm not gluing any of this. If you choose to glue it, pre-fit it before you do. If you pre-fit it, it will, and then make alignment marks on it, it will make it a whole lot easier than having to cut it all apart and try again, because then your $8 investment will go to double because you will not be able to use it. This is where I'm going to insert these. Now you see I've got one significantly shorter because I just basically kind of cut these by eye, and it doesn't really matter how long you cut the original one. Just make sure that when you cut the second one, you kind of give it a measure. I wanted it to allow my machine to slide in so that my tip was protected by the bigger, heavier part. So I've got some animals and they like to knock around stuff, and if it's sitting in there or I forget to clean it up or put it back in its storage case, the tip won't get messed with by my animals. So there's that. You see these aren't even. I do want them to be even. I do have 2 different styles of airbrushes though. This one is a top feed, gravity feed. This one is a siphon feed. This one's a Badger siphon feed. This one's a Master a gravity feed, and they kind of have a different feel to them. If you look here, there's a little nub on the bottom. It's for comfort while you're airbrushing. You know, you set your finger there. It's nice. This one here doesn't have that. It's very like a pencil with a small cleat coming out of the bottom, and then you airbrush like this. So what I wanted to do for both of them is make a cradle that kind of custom fit each style. Now if you only have one or the other, or if you only have one, you don't need the two T's, of course, just a single one. So what I'm going to do now, and I haven't done this, there's no pre-prep on this one, unfortunately, but I'll edit that part out so we don't have to listen to me yammer on as I'm doing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a feed from this. I believe this pops out. Eventually it will. Now, anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this channel. That channel, like I said, this one fits really well in this one, and I like how it fits. It's nice and snug. You can bat it around. It's not really going to hurt anything. But I want to kind of recreate that in this. So in order to do that, I'm going to turn this and I'll flatten it out so you can see it. Hopefully, there we go. I'll flatten it out a little bit so you can see it, and what I'll do is I'll kind of slip that in there, and I will mark off what I want to do exactly, where I want to be. And this is just general. You don't have to be specific on this. On there. Now on the bottom there is a little nub there, so I'm going to cut this first. I'm going to cut this top piece out first, and we'll give it a look-see how we like it. I'm going to cover up my airbrushes because I'm going to use the Dremel to do this, and I don't want shavings all over everything, so I'll move these out of the way, and I'll get my handy dandy Dremel here. If you don't have a Dremel, a file will do. I'm going to turn the speed up a little bit on this. Change that out for a fitting that will cut straight down. In this case, I'm totally using the wrong fitting, but that's just because it's all a piece out of there. Take a quick look at that. Now that I've got a lot of the debris out of there and I don't have as much risk to my my tool, I'm going to slip it in there and see how it fits. And it's not quite big enough, so I'll make that adjustment. That's pretty easy to do. And this is the part where you can get a little fancy if you want to. If you want to make a beveled edge or something like that, there are tools that do that. Matter of fact, I think I will use one of my sanding bits to get in there and make a nice little clean edge. And we're right there, right at where I wanted it to be in the first place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand it down. One of the very cool features about doing it this way is that you can see how it fits in, like right off the bat. And right now I'm pretty comfortable with that. I like how it's sitting in there. I'm going to do a little bit of finite work. I'll show you the finished one when I'm done at the end. And essentially, I like how that fits. It's really snug. I like that that nice, comfortable feel. It actually slides in really well, so I like that a lot. Now I'm going to go to work on the other one. Now the other one I want, again, very similar, but I'm going to basically reverse this. I'm just going to turn it over. I do want it to be a little snug fitting. And I want it to sit in about that far, so again the tip is protected, but you see that I'm way too long. Now one very cool feature about doing it like this is that you can just basically manipulate the base and give yourself a nice little platform to work off of while you're cutting and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down. I got the handy dandy little saw. Little is a relative term, I think. And I'm going to just kind of lop that end off because I don't need it nearly as long as it's sitting in there. And the cool thing about it is I only used about half the stick when I did this, so I really have like a whole nother allotment of tubing that if I do need it, or if I cut one too short, or if I don't like how it fits or whatever, and I can just fall back on it. Now you want to clean up the ends on this. Thankfully I already have the sander on there, so what I'm going to do now on this one is I'm going to turn it over, because this one's upside down, and I want to, again, I'm just going to set it in there, take a little eyeball, take my handy dandy Sharpie here, and I'm going to mark the channel that I want to cut out, and we'll take a look. Give me just a minute, I'll get this all cut out. I'll edit out all the noise, because everybody hates noise, so we'll edit that out. That. And just so everybody knows, I mean, I set this up right now. I mean, I literally just went to the hardware store a few days ago, grabbed these pieces, kind of cut them to fit. But I've never actually built one of these, so I'm just doing this off the cuff, so to speak. And if it works, then great. If it doesn't work, well, you'll never see this video. So we'll take a look. Now here's my Badger. I like how it fits in. It's a little snug again, but it's still fitting. It is giving me a nice, comfortable fit. I'm going to turn the angle to where I want it, where the finished angle will be. And again, because I didn't glue it, I can easily just adjust that. I'm going to put that in just a smidge more. There we go. And see how that sits in there. So you got that one. I like that. That's not bad at all. It's a little snug, but that's okay. And this one's in there. It's a little snug. I'm going to trim the bottom a little bit, of course, to make it fit that bottom V. But they both sit in there really well. I like that a lot. One thing that I haven't done today, I do have a little holder, because this has a neat little holder on the top, so that when you set your machine down, your airbrush down, you can set it in there. That's really nice to have, especially when you're got a hose attached to it, because a lot of times hoses add pressure. This one's a very stable unit. You see that it's really stable. It does a really good job. I hope it helped. Maybe I saved you a little bit of money. If I didn't, then if you don't like it, then say so. I appreciate any feedback. I hope you enjoy it, and thanks. Hi folks, I finished the sanding on the tubes that will hold the airbrushes. I'm very happy with the results. I like how soft and smooth they are. The Iwata style, or the Master, which is what this is, fits in there extremely well. Very happy with that. A little less happy with how the Badger fits in there, but it holds really well. It sits in a very good configuration, so I'll be able to easily use it, popping it back and forth. It does have a little bit of grip in there. Does rattle around a little bit more than I like. One little thing though, I was unable to accomplish was the piece that I had originally bought to create this part was this, and unfortunately this isn't going to work. This is not going to do what I want it to do. I can't bend it. I've tried, so I can't make it the right configuration. So what I'm going to do is I'm totally going to steal this part from the part that I purchased. I'm going to drill a hole in this and then drop that down in there. It'll sit really well. This is PVC, so it's very easy to drill, very easy to fit things like this. Because it's a 1/2 inch, it'll fit down in there just fine. I've already done some preliminary checking, but if I can find a way to make this without purchasing this piece, which the whole idea was to do, I will do that, and then I will show you in a video, or I'll give you another video so you can see how I did that. Thanks for watching, and appreciate you stopping by.